Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So recently I sold almost 70% of my holding on Zomato, and a part of that money I have rotated into Swiggy. Why? Because Swiggy and Zomato are similar type of companies. I feel that valuation of Swiggy is much better compared to Zomato as of now. Now, a natural question might be coming into your mind that, hey, how did I buy Swiggy? Because once you go on your Upstock, Zerodha, Grow account, you don't see Swiggy. So how did I end up buying it? Can you do the same? The short answer is a yes. Should you be doing it? The answer is it depends, right? And for that, you need to watch this entire video. Please watch it carefully. This channel is for serious investors. It's not like a recommendation oriented investors कि आ गए 2 मिनट में वीडियो देख लिया and then drop off and no. You have to understand these type of videos systematically. I'll try to explain the entire logic in very simple words. And the first key point that you need to understand is the difference between listed and unlisted companies and why for some investors it makes sense to buy unlisted stocks, right? So 2 मिनट में explain करता हूँ, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं. So for example, if you consider Zomato, now if you go and open your Zerodha Grow account, you can easily buy Zomato, sell Zomato. Now this is a listed firm, okay? And how did it get to this point? Well, it goes through different stages. For example, when Zomato would have started, okay, it would have started really small, right? So that stage is called a seed stage, okay? This is stage 1. Then after that, it did something called as series A, B, C. यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि you have like a bunch of investors, mostly VC, venture capitalist, who keep on pouring more and more money in a company like Zomato, and the size of the company keeps on growing. And why would these companies or VC funds pour money into something like Zomato? Because they are getting something called as equity. Equity क्या होता है? Equity होता है stocks in this company, right? जैसे बहुत सारी कंपनीज हैं, जैसे पेटीएम के, आप मेरे को लिस्ट करके बताओ that who were the VC investors in Paytm, right? This is a small quiz for you guys. Similarly, there are दुनिया भर के VCs like Lightspeed Ventures and whatnot, and these type of companies go and invest in these type of startups and keep on growing the size of the company. Now, at certain point in time, this company becomes really big, and फिर क्या होता है? फिर गेम होता है bringing it to retail investors. Now retail investors को bring in करने के लिए there is a process called as IPO. IPO से just पहले there is something called as DRHP. DRHP एक prospectus निकलता है, जैसे Zomato ने भी निकाला था when it got listed in 2021, I think. So this DRHP is like a कच्चा चिट्टा or a report on the entire functioning of Zomato, its previous financials, all that stuff. And this is prepared, then SEBI reviews it, and then finally it gives permission कि अच्छा अब जाके Zomato can launch its IPO. And once the company IPOs, it becomes a publicly listed company. Publicly listing का मतलब क्या? कि you can go and buy these stocks as a retail investor, okay? And then ये NSE, BSE पे list हो जाते हैं. You buy and sell these stocks on everyday basis, right? So this is the journey, just helping you understand through the chart, and then I'll explain you what unlisted stocks are. For example, this journey that you're seeing here is the post IPO journey. In fact, यहाँ पे IPO हुआ था, okay? उसके बाद it has become a public company, right? Publicly listed company, and you can buy and sell this stock at any point in time, okay? So this was the entire thing, and I bought this stock somewhere here, right? I gave a complete analysis of this on my YouTube channel also, community also, and उसके बाद, right, I had made very good money, right? I mean, the stock has 4x. I have almost like made 150-160% gain, and I have sold almost 70% of this stock, right? Why? Because I feel that the valuations are a little bit expensive now, right? And there is a better opportunity in Swiggy, right? Now, what type of company is Swiggy? Well, it is an unlisted company. Now, why is it an unlisted company, and why am I saying that Swiggy's valuation is better than something like Zomato? उसका भी मैं आपको reason बताता हूँ, and उसका reason है कि for example, you need to know a little bit of history about Swiggy and Zomato. So when Swiggy was roughly a $5 billion startup, what was the size of Zomato? Well, the Zomato size was also close to $5 billion. Now guess in 2024, where is the story? Well, Zomato's valuation is close to $23 billion. Now, what is Swiggy's valuation? Swiggy right now in the unlisted platform is getting sold between $11 billion to $13 billion. So almost आधे दाम पे मिल रहा है Swiggy compared to Zomato. Now, of course, there are differences, and many of you would comment, you know what, Zomato का, you know, जो fast delivery business है, वो ज़्यादा चल गया 10 minute and all that stuff. cool, right? But does that mean 50% valuation difference? You have to really think. So natural question comes that, okay, fine, Akshat, जो बोल रहे हो, सही बात बोल रहे हो. Then how do we buy a company like Swiggy? Or are there other unlisted companies we can take a look at? Of course, yes. So this platform is called as Incred Money, right? And you can go read more about Incred Money, right? It's a part of Incred Group. So you can go on the platform, read about unlisted shares, and you will see a bunch of companies. For example, OYO is there, SBI Mutual Fund is there, HDB Financial Services is there. So many companies are there. And if you open, for example, let's say HDB Financial, ये HDFC Group की company है. So you will see, right, that for example, ये आपको सारे charts दिख रहे हैं, right? Now what will you notice? कि भाई जब 2021 के आसपास का time था, right? So this is 2021, the stock was trading here, then it fell because the market itself was falling, and then it rose, and ये काफ़ी अब ऊपर चला गया है, right? And what type of company is HDB Financial Services? Well, it is an unlisted company. Similarly, SBI Mutual Fund is what type of company? Again, it is an unlisted. What about Swiggy? Again, it is what type of company? Unlisted. So okay, so ये unlisted companies होती क्या exactly? What are the pros and cons of investing in these type of companies? Should you do it? Should you not do it? So let me spend 5-6 minutes explaining it. So on another note, I am doing a deep dive for my students on unlisted stocks. I'm organizing this special class on Monday. It is going to be a live class. In case you guys are interested on how to join it, you can check the links in the description and comment box. So now very quick explainer of unlisted companies. Unlisted companies किस journey के through जाती हैं? For example, पहले छोटी होती हैं seed stage, then वो बड़ी होती चली जाती हैं, then they are somewhere between like an IPO and pre-IPO stage, right? IPO हो गई, so क्या होगा? It will become a public company. IPO नहीं हुई तो it will remain like in a private space only, right? So this is, or this range is where we are looking at. This is what we are defining as unlisted companies for me. अब unlisted की कोई standard definition नहीं होती, right? But this is the scope that I wanted to quickly explain. Some relevant examples would be HDB Financial, OYO, and all these different types of companies. Now, more importantly, what you need to understand, ये pros and cons में जाने से पहले भी around the regulation of these companies, right? So ऐसा नहीं कि कोई भी platform launch कर देगा and all that stuff. So okay. So here is what you need to know. These companies are regulated by Ministry of Corporate Affairs. जैसे Ministry of Corporate Affairs को अगर आप website पे भी जाके देखोगे, so you can get information by paying certain fees to Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which is the Government of India entity, and उससे आपको इन सारी companies की, whichever companies I am speaking about or about to speak about in this video, you can get information about that company by putting in a little bit of money and downloading those reports from there. So I hope the regulation part is also clear. ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ भी कर सकते हैं इस पे. Okay, so this is point one. Now talking about pros and cons of unlisted equities. So the first key point is कि देखो, relatively in private markets, right? Private markets, unless a lot of VC money is floating around, till that point, the valuation on private or unlisted companies or valuation of it remains sensible. For example, if you go back to the time of 2018, 2019, just before COVID, Byju's and bunch of other unlisted players, so to say, उनका क्या था भाई, किसी भी valuation पे पैसा मिल रहा है, इतनी बिलियन कंपनियां, करोड़ों लाखों का लॉस चल रहा है and what not, and valuation was crazy. Why? Because easy money was flowing in. Interest rates were very, very low. Right now, what is the issue? Well, it is very hard for these companies to survive. So many unicorns. In fact, Byju's was more valuable than Zomato at one point in time. It got crushed. Why? Because free money evaporated from the market. That VC money evaporated from the market. So in a high interest rate environment, typically speaking, valuation of unlisted stocks is more sensible. वो मैंने आपको Swiggy और Zomato के बारे में भी बताई from the story, and therefore I feel that unlisted stock is in a good shape from that perspective. This is point one. So right now valuation सस्ते type है, right, from that perspective. Second key point is that see, there is always a market premium that gets added to unlisted stocks whenever they IPO. जैसे go back to the time when LIC का IPO आने वाला था. There was so much noise in the market about LIC IPO. भाई LIC का IPO ना हो गया, पता नहीं क्या हो गया, right? So yeah, so that is called as adding of market premium. कि इतनी बात करेंगे लोग, इतनी बात करेंगे that वो स्टॉक आपको लगेगा कि ओहो पता नहीं इस स्टॉक में क्या ही होने वाला है. So this is called as market premium है दुनिया भर में. मतलब every reporter will cover it, every magazine will cover it, every YouTuber will cover it and all that stuff. So उस टाइम पे market premium add होने लग जाता है. So if you buy in the unlisted space first, आप आराम से बैठ जाओ, राइट, एंड देन लोगों को बात करने दो, एंड आफ्टर दैट यू सेल इट. ओके, सो then you have gotten this market premium by investing in that asset. Third is certainty of procurement or certainty of allocation. Now what is the meaning of this? For example, if now you might be thinking, यार, you know what, why should I invest my money in Swiggy now, right? Or why should I buy HDB Financial now or SBI Mutual Fund now? I can buy it जब IPO announce होता है. But भाई IPO आपको मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा? Is that certainty? The answer is no. Okay, so these are 3 advantages if you invest in an unlisted company. What is the risk? Very quickly. Again, there can be valuation risk. For example, if you go and buy something like HDB Financial, okay, now what if the valuation is high, right? So how would you figure it out? So you have to study the stock properly. Now there is not much public information about HDB Financial. The level of public information on a listed company is much more. So you are dealing with that uncertainty. Now again, I will cover how to value these privately listed companies, what type of structures you can use, etc. on my class that I'm doing. So you can check the links. But anyways, I'll take you to the platform also and at least point you in the right direction where you can look at. Second key point, and this is a problem which is called as lock-in problem, right? So lock-in problem का क्या होता है कि for example, if you go and buy HDB Financial here, okay, and now the company does not announce the IPO for 2 years. Okay, so now it will be difficult for you to liquidate that stock. You can only liquidate it to other private investors. The equity can get sold. That's not a problem even in private space, but that liquidity problem remains because it is not a listed asset. जैसे आप Zomato कभी भी खरीद बेच सकते हो. But if you buy Swiggy today, you might not be able to liquidate it tomorrow, right? Your best opportunity to liquidate will be after IPO. But यहाँ पे भी एक point है. The point is that see, as per SEBI rules, because you are buying an unlisted companies, you can't liquidate it for the next 6 months after it IPOs. Why? Because you are technically an insider, right? Very similar to a founder of the company. अब आप खुद ही सोचो कि यार founder जैसी IPO उसमें मैं बेच दे अगले दिन, right? So now for listing gains, now that is a problematic process, right? Why? Because the founder is the insider. Similarly, employees are insider, and you are also buying that company in somewhat a preliminary stage. So therefore, that restriction applies to you also. Ki for 6 months you will not be able to liquidate. Then comes the final point is the liquidity risk. So liquidity risk मैंने आपको बताया कि जैसे for example अभी आपने HDB Finance खरीदा and for the next 2 years the company does not IPO. So ये 2 साल वाली हो जाती है liquidity risk, right? Then a natural question comes कि यार I was hoping to buy like here and then sell it here. अब आप ऐसी सोच के देखो यार, अब Zomato got listed at 125 and उसके बाद तो गिर ही गया था ना प्राइस, राइट? सो यहाँ पे गिरा and फिर उसके बाद बढ़ा. So anyways, whatever stocks you are purchasing, if you are investing in the equity segment, at least 2 से 3 साल का perspective तो आप लेके चलो, right? So this is simple point, but this depends on how you are managing your portfolio, how you think about investing. So this is our point. But if you want to do more study and understand how to invest, then very simple, go here, right, on unlisted shares. You will see, right, all these different options. Click on anything, right? For example, SBI फंड मैनेजमेंट लिमिटेड, एक स्टॉक आता है 2278 का. So if you want to buy 50 units, you can place the order. You can just simply press invest now, right? You have to log in first, right? So again, talking about the safety of the platform, I have prepared a note which I will link in the description and comment box. You guys can go and read more about it before making a call whether you should be investing, not investing, right? So there is a special offer that Incred Money has launched, and it will only be applicable for the first 1000 users who will transact. There is an additional 0.25% discount that you will get on any purchase that you are making. So definitely it adds up, and to avail that you can check out my link in the description and comment box and buy via that link. So just to summarize the entire video, should retail investors invest in unlisted stocks? Yes and no, it depends on your portfolio, how you are constructing it. फायदा है, definite है, because market premium gets added, all that stuff, valuation वगैरह ठीक होते हैं. Risk है, definitely there is risk also. A small tip that I will give here is that see, the biggest risk in unlisted space is the liquidity risk, right? And यहाँ पे if you buy a good brand and even if they are not IPOing, you can still sell these type of companies even in private market. Yes, ऐसा हो सकता है कि immediately transaction ना हो, but you will be able to liquidate your position. So remember to buy good brands in this unlisted space, जो profitable companies होती हैं, अच्छी companies होती हैं. If you're buying that, then the chances of IPOing is also very high and the chances of you making money is also very high. I hope you enjoyed this brief conversation. If you did, do press the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.